What's up, everybody? We are back today with the Nissan Sentra. We're going to be replacing the intake manifold gasket and the valve cover gasket, but first we're going to clean up the engine. We're going to be using purple degreaser just to clean it all up, get that done. Let's go. As you can see, took out the battery. We're going to hose it down and then we're going to spray degreaser on it. Let me show you how dirty the engine is. See if we can get up close and see.
You can see we got stuff all over. Oil leaking. That's why we're replacing the gaskets. So this is how it looks before. Let's get to cleaning.
Now we're going to spray some purple on it. Before you hose your engine down, you want to make sure that it's completely cooled down before you spray any water or anything on it. So let's go. Alright, now that we cleaned up all the engine, got most of the oil and grease out of the way, what we're going to do, I'm going to let it air dry for a couple hours just to get it, completely dry, because I got some other stuff to do. So once that's done and it's air dried completely, we'll take it in the garage and we'll start the removal of everything that we got to do.
Let's take a quick look at the engine once it's cleaned up. You can see it's still wet, but it is much cleaner. No oil everywhere.
Okay, now that we got the engine all cleaned up, first thing what we're going to do is we want to remove this intake hose here. So let's take that out and just disconnect the two clamps that it's holding on to. Alright, we want this completely out of the way because we have to get to this here. So let's Alright, got this off now. Okay, once we got the intake hose off completely, there's 4 screws here. There's 1, 2, and then 2 on the bottom that we need to remove. If you move, I don't know if you can see that, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to take this off so we can remove this whole thing. So let's go. once you remove this here, there's another bolt right here that's holding this down, so we got to unscrew that so we can remove this whole thing. So let's get that out. Ten 10 millimeter. That's a 10 millimeter. Now we should be able to unscrew this, get that out. Could just kind of move this out the way. All right, we're gonna disconnect this here. It's just a little vacuum line or whatever it is. I don't know. Just pull it off. Kind of pry it loose here. Alright, set that to the side. You see there's a plug here that's going to prevent you from removing this. So we got to take this off, and this is just a plug here. So let's take that off. Squeeze tight, pull down, pops right off. Pull that to the side. Now we're going to remove this hose that comes all around. This hose right here, that needs to come out. I'm gonna loosen that up. Pull this out of the way. Make sure we don't lose our clamp. We're gonna need that to put it back on later on. So move that out of the way. Put it back here for now. Okay, now on the back side of here, there's a bolt holding this down. So we're gonna have to take that off. And that bolt is a, let's see. Yep, it is a 12 millimeter. Here we go. Got that bolt out, 12 millimeter. That's gonna detach this. Now, you see around here, there is another bolt that you're gonna have to remove, and it's right there, right? Right there, that one right there, that bolt. You're gonna have to remove that in order to get the whole thing out. So let's go ahead and remove that bolt now. And that one is also a 10 millimeter. What? We remove this because it's just easier to slide this out with this out of the way. This is just a bracket. So we'll put this to the side. Now we can start disassembling the big boys, which everything from here is disconnected. There's nothing holding it to the engine. So now we're gonna get the screws here on the bottom here on the intake manifold itself. You can see we're gonna remove the dipstick, take this out of the way, and you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 of them total. Now that all those 5 are out, we're disconnected here. Should be able to pull up and get this out of here. Oh, we got 1 line connected. We still got 1 line right here connection. Let's go ahead and take that off. Now we can remove this here, and now we have access to all of our spark plugs. Alright, we're going to be changing those out while we got this open, and we're going to be doing the whole valve cover seal. So let's go ahead and get the tools we need for that. Alright, you can see I just plugged these up because I don't want dirt falling in to the engine with the oil. As you can see, there's a lot of buildup, so I want to get all that cleaned up, but I don't want it to fall into the engine. So I'm just gonna grab a rag, just plug up the holes, kind of wipe this down. Gonna spray this down a little bit, get that cleaned up. Now we are going to remove the spark plugs. That's right here. Clean the tops of them here. Just gonna label them, so this way when I'm putting them back I know what's what. We got Go ahead and take these out now. Got one. Got a little oil in there, not too bad. Set that to the side. Get this one out. Get this one out. So we got a little bit of oil in it there. And our fourth one out. No oil. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So now we're going to remove the valve cover. Just take the whole thing off. 8mm for the valve cover. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one right dead smack in the middle. One in the middle. And then should be able to pop that off. Get a clip right here, and then to pull this right off. All right, I'm gonna replace all this. You can see, got everything off. And we're gonna want to change the spark plugs while we're here, because I got 4 new spark plugs. I'm gonna drop in here, just gonna clean this up a little bit. Try to keep everything out. Don't push anything in. See the build up here. Cleaned up. And we got all that done. So now we're gonna take out the old spark plugs, and I have a 14mm which fits on the spark plug. We're gonna slide it right in here. See the
Old plug.
Old plug, new plug. You can see this one's a little fried. So we're gonna put the new ones in. I'm gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on them, just so they're easy to get out once we, you know, go to change them up. Just put a little bit on here. And go down smoothly. And just start it off by hand, just so you don't cross thread anything. Go as far as you can by hand. Good. Alright, let's get the other. All set. Spark plugs are in. Plugs are in, so we're good there now. Now we're gonna replace the valve cover gasket. Let's replace this.
So, let's zoom out here.
Okay.
So now we're going to replace the valve cover gasket and pick this one up. Pro, it says.
I got this on Amazon, and you can see the, I guess that's the part number there.
Oh, let's see. Part number is right there.
It's Pro, and I picked this up on Amazon. So we're gonna take out our old valve cover gasket. It's real brittle. It's been in here a while. We're gonna remove this completely. See, it's breaking already. So we'll remove this one. It's breaking apart. There we go. And finally, we can get this one. This one don't want to come out. So we are gonna have to use some pliers. Get the new one on. There it goes. Came off finally. Alright, now that we got the old valve cover gasket off and we cleaned it all up, we'll put down our new valve cover gasket. You see how soft, and then this one compared to the other one was so hard, and this just basically, you'll see there's a groove the way it goes. So just follow the grooves. Should pop in. Follow all the grooves. Alright, so the outside is in. Let's pop these in here. Alright, gaskets in. Nice and tight, snug. All set there. Alright, so now just gonna flip this over. Pop this right back on. Our valve cover back on. I'm going to tighten it back down. Alright. Now we're going to put all our others back in. Valve covers back on. Now we'll pop our things back in. Now remember, we labeled them earlier, so we know what goes where. It's pretty easy though. Put our screws back. Alright, those are all tight, good to go. So we got the, again, Felpro gasket for the intake, manifold, and what we want to do, there's actually two gaskets here, or several gaskets, we'll see. I don't know if it's just, okay, it's two gaskets. So this is one. We're going to remove again, very brittle. See, it just breaks off. Let's try to get this off, and at least, there we go. Alright. Toss those to the side. Put our new ones down. Nice and soft. Pops right in. Alright, perfect. And then there is one here also. You can see right up top here on the top side right here, there's one that it comes with. So remove that one, pop this one in, and there's a little thing right here, tab that slides in, so you can line it up. And as you can hear, it's starting to get nasty out here. Alright, so that's in. We got all of our gaskets replaced. Now we just reassemble. What we want to do first, obviously, we're going to take out a little protection we have put in. Alright, take those out. And now we can put in, line up our intake manifold here. Line it back up. Make sure we don't pinch our plugs over here. Where they at? Okay, there we go. Put them to the side for now. There we go. Put these back in. Remember the one on the bottom here? That was the hard one. So those are on, all set. We gotta reconnect our intake. But first, we need to pop in this here. Goes right up in there. And we have a plug over here. So we have to get back plugged in here. Make sure that's in. So this goes like this in here, and tighten that up there. All right. This one goes here. Put that back. All right. Now we need to reconnect our hose. Put that back in there. That in there. This goes right in there. Bring our clamp down. That goes in there. And around there. So now we put in our intake pipe back in. Alright, so we put in our intake hose, got that back in, screwed it back in with the two clamps there. We got this little box reconnected, that there. Just need to close this up, put this clamp back on. Alright, once all the plugs are back in, this plug, don't forget, on the back side here, you got this one here too. So plug that in. That will mess you up. That'll make the car run like crap. So now, let's get this in. Alright, plug back in. Let's go ahead and turn the car back on now. See how it sounds. Engine is running smooth. Everything's running smooth, perfect. Everything's buttoned up. The car's running great again. Alright, so we're all done for today. We ended up changing out the spark plugs, and while we had the spark plugs out, we ended up changing the valve cover gasket and the intake manifold gasket. Might as well do them while you have everything apart. It's a pain to get to, so you got to remove everything as you've seen in the video, but since you got it apart, you might as well get it done. Alright, I'm back here a few days later. Been driving the car for a little bit with everything working perfectly fine. As you can see, the engine is fully done, detailed, cleaned up, no oil anywhere. It's all clean and good to go. So that's it for now. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.